Bienvenidos amigos de YouTube a un nuevo video, una nueva entrevista. Nos adentramos en el mundo del Eurodisco, del Italo Disco, para hablar con un artista que a muchos seguidores de Latinoamérica de este estilo de música eh, tienen en su colección de vinilos sus canciones como I Find a Way, este, tienen su música presente y bueno, es un honor para mí, para ustedes que van a estar viendo esta entrevista, el presentarlo aquí. Welcome, willkommen, willkommen, Roger. Welcome to my YouTube channel.
Hi, greetings to Argentina, to everybody, to my fans, and to you. And
Thanks.
I am so glad you do this interview with me today.
Muchas gracias. Thanks so much. How is we were talking, I saw the picture with Linda Chorizo, so I feel that new things are coming.
Yes, that's true, because the record company, they did call me, and I met Linda Chorizo in the record company, and we talked about new songs, new ideas, new projects. And we will do the beginning also will be to do new songs. Perhaps we do songs together, Linda Chorizo and me, because I wrote some new songs, and perhaps we can do some stuff together, and we'll present it then in shows in USA also.
So cool, so cool, so cool, so nice. Well, your music was part of a great period, the
Yeah,
80s music. There's a lot
yeah,
of good memories in the people, I have
yes,
followers here from all Latin America, especially Mexico, Argentina, Brazil, In Mexico,
yes,
there's a lot of fans of Italo Disco, high energy,
yeah,
who
yeah,
loves your music. So I want to know about the beginnings of Roger Meno like an artist.
yes. Okay, the beginning was, as you told, in the 80s.
Mhm.
I did begin to write first songs in this style, and then I went to the studio and did the recordings. Then I met some guys from music record companies, and so it started. Yes, as you know, I do all my productions myself. I write the songs, also the music, I write the words, I do the production, I play all instruments by myself.
Yeah.
This was the starting, because it was much more easier to do all stuff by myself. Yeah.
Wow, so good. That's a nice curiosity because how you said you did everything.
Yeah. I played all instruments also, yes.
So nice, so nice.
Yeah.
And always the music was part of your life, no? That's a true thing.
Yes. They are all true stories. There's nothing I just thought about and did some artificial text or words.
Mhm.
These are real things from my life, and I tried to put them in my songs.
So cool. You know, I want to know about the single "I Find the Way" because here in Latin America and South America was a song that was very present on the discotheques, on the
Yeah.
discotecas. So I want to know about the project of doing this song. The lyrics, who had the idea of the instrumentals, the saxo.
Yes. Yes. That was all by myself. I had the ideas for the words, for the music, and I went to the studio and then I did the arrangement also. And with the exception of the saxophone, then I put in the studio my music teacher when I was very young, when I was 10 or 12 years, when
Yeah,
I started the music. And this guy is a very fine saxophone player also. And because I learned piano and organ and keyboards,
hmm,
but he also played saxophone in this way. And I asked him if he could support me in the studio with his saxophone playing. And he agreed immediately when he heard this I Find the Way. And I wrote then the intro and so for him. And yes, he came with me to the studio and did also this part of the song. Even then, the next song, I what my heart want to say.
Yeah.
He also played the saxophone stuff and other songs also. And then later on, we can talk about that later on. Then I also learned playing saxophone, and then I did all these parts by myself too.
Wow,
Yeah.
so cool, so cool. I feel that there are good memories of that period.
Yeah.
I want to know if it was easy just to do. I find a way. It was easy to do this song,
Yeah.
or it was hard.
So no, it wasn't hard at the beginning. It wasn't hard when I did the composition and the
Yeah,
words. It was not very hard. I wrote this song within 1 or 2 days only. But then at the studio to do a professional production, it took then more than 2 weeks to do the production, to do the mixes and the mastering and everything, and the arrangement. I started to do the arrangement, the song. I recorded it. Then after the next day, for example, or after 2 days, I changed the arrangement again because I was not very satisfied with the starting.
yeah.
And then I always try to optimize the arrangement and the production
Hmm.
until the mixes. I did also different mixes of I Find the Way at the beginning when we did all the recordings and the arrangements, and I started to do different mixes out of the song.
Yeah.
And then at the end, I decided to do the last mix what we did, and this was the mix what was done on the record and what people know today.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you still have the demo of that song?
Yes, for sure. I have
Oh,
everything.
wow.
I even have all original tapes of it
Mm,
from the very beginning, even the big takes, these analog tapes, what we had in the 80s in the studio. Today, everything is digital stuff, but former times in the 80s, it was everything was originally these big tapes, what you had, these big
yeah.
machines where you did your recordings and have everything of it, everything. Even I have the original instruments from the 80s.
Wow, wow.
Yes.
So cool, so nice, so nice.
Yes, so that I can do today, I can also do new productions with the original instruments from the 80s if I want. Yeah.
Wow. And what kind of synthesizers did you use there? Did you play there?
Yes, it's these times it was very famous was this Yamaha DX7, for example. It was very known than all Roland stuff what we had, different things. That was about 10 to 12 synthesizers I used. Also, this very famous Mini Moog what we had in these
Yeah.
days, and all these stuff what we used in the 80s. And also, I played the drums. I played live drums. What you hear on I Find the Way, these are live drums I played.
Wow.
And then I did decide to double these live drums with
Hmm.
some sample drums, also drum machines. So
Yeah.
we did combine these drum machines and these original live drum sounds. Yeah.
Wow,
Yes.
wow.
Mhm.
Wow, there is good examples that you are saying because if you have to compare the music of today,
Mhm.
maybe with the computer is more easy, but in those times you have to being there working in all the things, all the things, all
Yes,
details.
yes, yes, right, right. Well, I worked even the sounds what you can hear on I Find the Way, for example, and all productions I did in the 80s. There is no real original sound. It's always mixed, and I worked on the sounds. For example, the snare drums, what you hear,
Yeah,
this is the original snare drum, but then we sampled some other sounds, and then we combined it, we doubled it with these other sounds. For example, when you have the kick drum, the bass drum, what you hear, now the
yeah,
deep drum, this is original sound of the drum, for example. But then I put a hammer on the table, back, 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 and I sampled this sound to
yeah.
get much more power on it, and I doubled it on this bass drum.
Wow, wow, so cool that,
Uh,
yeah.
uh,
Well, you said to me that you worked with other artists, for example, Phil
yeah,
Collins,
yeah.
I want to know about that experiences.
Oh, these very good experiences because all these guys are so good guys at the end, yes,
Yeah.
because they're real professional musicians and they very big-hearted person also. And it was so great to work with them. For example, it was very exciting for me to
Hmm.
work with these big stars of these 80s, also Phil Collins. And I worked live on stage with them, also with Chris Berg, and also the band Simply Red. I
Yeah,
think it's known all over the world,
of course. Yeah.
and I did some concerts, some live concerts in London, for example. Yes, we had there 50, 60,000 people, and it was a great time because it was so exciting. Uh, the point is that one day I got a call from New York,
Hmm.
from the management of Simple Red, for example,
Yeah.
and the keyboarder he he was unfortunately he couldn't play these concerts, so they asked me if I could do this for him, and this was then a big start also for
Yeah.
further work what we did together. Yes.
I,
Always, always also a little bit of luck what you have.
yeah, destiny,
Yeah,
destiny.
yeah,
And your
yeah.
answer was fast, or you say, I have to think so. You say, oh yes, of course, I will be there on the stage with Simple Red.
Yes, for sure. There was no doubt. It was very fast. In 2 seconds, I decided to do this. Why not? There is no reason not to do such very good concerts and the atmosphere and backstage and in the 80s there also were big parties after show parties and
Yeah.
so what we had. So we had a great time together. Yeah.
Yeah, well, we must take a look on YouTube. Maybe we will find the videos. Who knows?
Uh, Perhaps I don't know because in the 80s
Yeah.
it there was not so much footage done on live or on stage. It's
Hmm.
very rare. It started later than with the music videos and so yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's true. That's true. So, Roger Meno, you are from Germany.
Yeah.
You did your music in Germany. You're still doing music there. From which city?
It's a city near Frankfurt.
Yeah.
It's in the mid of Germany. Yeah, in the
Hmm.
north you have Hamburg and Berlin,
Yeah.
and down in the south you have Munich, and Frankfurt is right in the middle of Germany.
Of
Yeah.
Germany. Okay. So you born there in Frankfurt.
Yes, near
Nice.
Frankfurt. It's a small town. It's not directly Frankfurt. It's a
Yeah.
small town. It's about a few kilometers away from Frankfurt. Yeah.
Cool. Cool.
Mhm.
Cool. And you did your music there in Frankfurt, or you traveled to Hamburg?
To do my production,
Yeah.
I did in Frankfurt. Yeah, I
Okay.
started in Frankfurt, in a studio in Frankfurt. Yes.
Nice. Nice. there is a good there. Germany is one of the countries who have greatest artists, you know, the greatest bands, great music, especially on electronic music. You know, in the 80s, in Argentina, for example, we know about Modern Talking, Fancy, Alphaville. You know,
Yes.
all nice stuff from Germany.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. In the 80s, there was a big scene in Germany
Yeah,
for international music. That's right, yeah. But all over the world, there are very good musicians. Even
of
you
course.
have in Argentina, for example, you have so nice, very talented musicians. I often see on video. I see on YouTube. I see some videos because I like your kind of music. Yeah, this is very lively. It's a very warm-hearted music also. Yeah.
If you want to send a message to all the fans of Eurodisco, Italo Disco, Roger Meno music, because there's a lot of people who dance your music on the discotheques, you know, have
Yeah.
good memories, good times. I
Yeah.
think that this is a good moment, you know, good opportunity if you want to send any words, you know.
Yeah, first thing is that I have really to thank all my fans all over the world because the fans is the most important you have as an artist. It's the most important. And all guys like you, for example, yeah, I have to thank to everybody who's working in this music scene
Mhm.
and who does this big support for musicians like me. And especially for me, it would be very interesting also, like I do now, I do some concerts also in USA, LA, and so I invited for some open air festivals there.
Mhm.
And I would like also to come to Buenos Aires or Argentina to do some live stuff. Yes, for
Nice,
example, to
nice.
have some or interviews, or I would like to know my fans in Argentina because I've never been there. Yeah, it's my music is there,
Yeah.
but I personally I've never been in Argentina. It's a big pity I find, and so perhaps there will be opportunity that I can meet some fans also in Argentina. I
I'm
would like
sure for
to.
that. Maybe in the future, you know, who knows? How I
Yes.
say, we have a lot of 80s fans in Buenos Aires, in Brazil, in Mexico.
Yeah.
They still do good parties. You know, Patrick Miller, Polly March. They good big
Okay.
events about 80s music. Well, you know,
Yeah.
you talk with Linda Chorizo. Linda, she traveled to Mexico. She traveled to USA. She
Yeah.
knows too.
Yeah. 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 For sure. I talked to her, and if now the record company will agree that Linda and me that we do some stuff together, as I told you, I did write new songs, and we
Hmm.
talk about that Linda and me do some songs together. We sing some songs together as a duet. And perhaps then we have the opportunity to come over to Argentina too. Yeah,
Nice. Thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate. I wish you all the best with this project that are coming. So thanks a
yes.
lot for your time.
Thank you so much for this nice interview, for these very good questions also. Yes, it was not only some question you get all over the world. It was
Yeah,
very special with you. Very
no,
nice
thanks.
question even about my work. And in the future, I always work as you saw. I work in London also in the Abbey Road studios, where Beatles and Pink Floyd, Queen, and all these guys did work. And this is now my favorite place to work. And so I'm very glad that we could talk about all this stuff today. And I'm really hoping to perhaps see you sometimes personally.
Yeah, why not? Why not? Vielen Dank. Um, I know a few words in German. You know,
Ah,
vielen
good.
Dank,
Okay.
guten Morgen. I don't know if it's in the Morgen there.
Yeah, guten Morgen in the morning. Yes, right. Yes.
Well, thanks everybody. Thanks, Roger. Have a nice day there. Okay.
Thank you, and all the best to all my fans in Argentina.